Happy to have you again, ladies and gentlemen, in this introduction course for resilience economy as part of the MSc program for both inspiration economy and resilience economy. And so, when we start to think about building a generation that has the determination and persistence, beside having the resilience, it's very important that we think that this generation should be based on realistic visions which are built into them optimism, hardiness, determination, and self-confidence. And I think the proceeding of the National Academy of Sciences talks about this specifically, where families with a history of depression, resilience, found to have actually significantly thinner right cortex and outer surface of the brain, which affected their memory abilities. So the more we have again, resilience in our bodies and our mind and our capacity. The more we are away from depression, the more we are stronger with readiness, the more we will have actually ability to be avoiding any what we call mental health issues. Now, uh, life tells that in order to be more inspiring cultures, we need to build a collaborative community. Collaborative community means that we'll have villages that work horizontally and vertically. So they will be connected vertically with each other through co-ops or through different techniques that will help them to build up the community. In the same time, they will have also horizontal communication between each other. While traditional community development comes from government, so that it supports services, this is considered to be not resilient or doesn't be resilient outcome in overall, and there is not great inspiration in the long term. So this one where we say that it's even though resilience is very difficult to change, but in the long run it will be sustained and will help the community to be more tolerant. So the returns of resilience economy, the resilience economy focuses on outcomes, and the ultimate aim is to serve the community by focusing on the means, the sectors, the working areas, and the key inputs, so that it will bring proper outcome to the community. One of the things we focus on is that we prioritize resilience, adaptability, and sustainability, so that we bring robust systems that withstand shocks and recover quickly. These systems can be through, for example, activities, weekly activities in the community, monthly activities, or even quarterly activities or yearly activities that bring the community together and make them ensure that they engage with the real challenges. For example, diversification of sectors and industries is one of the techniques that we enhance the resilience of any economy because through diversity and diverse industries and economic activities or sources, non-financial resources, sources of wealth, of non-financial wealth, we can build more community dependence on a single sector, avoid, community dependence on a single sector, and we can mitigate the impact of economic downturn or external shocking affecting the specific industry. For example, we might have also local food system self-sufficiency. So, for example, supporting local food production and distribution systems enhance food security, reduce vulnerability to supply chain disruptions. Community gardens, farmers, and markets, and local food cooperatives are examples of such initiatives. Circular economy is also very important because through circular economy, we can focus on reducing the waste, promoting recycling, and designing products with no longer lifespans. With longer lifespans. And this will enhance, of course, uh, uh, the way that we consume the products and would reduce environmental impacts and enhance the economy of resilience. The other thing for the tool for resilience economy is that using the renewable energy adoption. which means that shifting towards renewable energy sources that reduces dependence on fossil fuels, increases energy security, and contributes to environmental sustainability. Social safety nets also can bring other social safety nets through, for example, giving to access, affordable homes, providing a bit for individuals and families in times of economic hardship. One of the things is that we should ensure that we are prepared for any disaster, and we should invest on disaster preparedness, early warning systems, and effective response mechanism that help the community to better cope with natural disasters and emergencies. The The challenges that face any community also through education can be just shown by investing in education, by preparing individuals for changing the job markets through individual education, including, for example, education that is delivered in those steps. The other issue is that, for example, we focus on inclusive economic policies. And this is what we promote, for example, economic policies that reduce the income inequality and enhance the community's collaborative projects. Green infrastructure is also one of the techniques that will help also to spread the resilience economy and enhance the environmental resilience and contribute to the overall well-being of residents. The other tools of resilience economy is the community engagement and participation. Engaging communities in decision-making processes foster a sense of ownership and collective responsibility for building resilience. Investment in research and innovation can bring actually lots of ideas relevant to climate adaptation, sustainable technologies, and it can also help in increasing the resilient infrastructure. And the most important thing is that we can bring also collaborative partnership where stakeholders will work together with non-profit organizations, governments, and the private sector to bring resilient strategies. The other thing is a flexible financing mechanism, available financial funds and based on saving schemes and so on will help the community to be developing further. The 14 tool is about monitoring and evaluation. We need to have always a strong monitoring and evaluation for effective resilience strategies that allow investment and improvement over time. And this, of course, will create among the community a sense of belonging and focus linked with confidence. It will enhance the living within the curiosity and resilience targeted within the community. It will help to manage the stress and anxiety. And of course, it will enhance the community to take more risk, it is measured risk, and maintain their curiosity. And it will create from them more accountable community where they are willing to try new things. And it will enhance, of course, the positive attitudes towards accepting any failures and learning from it. Of course, at the end of the day, of course, it will have positive emotions for dealing with obesity. Well, this is why we say that we should have a purpose in life, a purpose that will help us to cope with the workload and challenges. We can say that the level of resilience economy can go through first deterioration in society, where different countries, for example, in Africa, have a beautiful deteriorating society. Then we move to a stable society as China and other countries that has moved to the stage very fast. And then we move to success-driven society. And USA is an example for that. And then we move to emerging vibrant society, which is, for example, Ghana is an example of that. And then we move to sustainable resilient society, where Europe, I think, is a good example of that. And then we move to be inspiring society, like Canada and Scandinavian countries at certain time. Even this is moving from one country to another, but the scale in curriculum is intended to move from stable to a resilient society. That means that you have to go through uh, establishing practices and become a vibrant society. And you have to use certain strategies where we move from deliberate strategy, where it is precautionary, to business-driven society, which is supplement strategy, and then emergent strategy, which is based on studying the environment around us. Now, this one is very important because it will help us to these strategies, these implementation, these tools will help us to move towards a strong, resilient economy, as we mentioned before. It will help us to have acceptability of diversity and we have consistent development and dealing and absorbing the variables. This will help us to actually build our resilient ability and help us to explore the opportunities areas and give us time actually to learn and absorb more and more to become more and more resilient over time. Now, the COVID has taught us many things, and this is one of the, let's say, the outcome of the COVID. We have published two large books, more than 60 research papers being published in areas that is relevant to life and livelihood. So resilience during COVID, we focused on life and livelihood, how to stay alive, and how to maintain livelihood. And for that, we implemented four very main variables. The first variable was dealing with COVID as a complex problem, and it is having a risk on life and so on. The second part was again dealing with COVID as physical and mental health solutions, which again it was part of the challenges of life. And then third and fourth part was about livelihood, how to reduce the risk of livelihood by bringing social economic solutions and building up self-sufficiency programs during the pandemic. For that, we promoted remote education for self-sufficiency, learning from the nursing, first-line people, care economy, global poverty, use of time. And we talked about also during the again, for the issue of livelihood, we focus on the youth and home and how the middle class will be surviving, how the poor community will be surviving, all those and the refugees, and how we utilize the sharing economy, how we improve the social impact. During also the complex problems, we focus on the moment of pauses, problem-based learning, what could, how to deal with difficult problems, resilience, wilderness resilience, living uncertainty, and the phobia, which is the use of porn. And then the first part was about life, that is risk on life, which is from the point of physical and mental health. Solution will focus on the prevalence of anxiety, suicidal behaviors, social workers, multidisciplinary frontline, capacity of the ICU, intensive care units, invention of the ventilators, rehabilitation, aging parents, gamification, comorbidities, meteorological factors, and the things. So as you can see, the resilience economy is very wide area. It is a area that it can help you to enter in many places because from using the resilience tools and using the observation, you can enhance the tolerance and the opportunities within. That's what we did in the program. We started to discover the opportunities and the view the opportunities, and then when the curve has started to flatten and the cases of those fatal uh, fatal death came from disease or the virus, we started to actually benefit from and became to what we call adaptation or adaptivity to new normal. New practices has became higher, and we started to utilize the opportunity deployment. So the pandemic waves actually bring with it what we call it observing and learning on the go. and it will help us to bring better exploring and opportunities. Every spillover is a learning curve for us, a major learning curve for us, where the planning of what we learn is high, and then we bring breakthrough with the spillovers coming again and again. And this is with any, let's say, challenge that is that comes and we utilize those techniques for resilience economy. Of course, we need to remind ourselves that tolerance also resilience economy is about again supporting life equity, supporting again family stability, supporting the social security, supporting the health well-being, supporting the education, as we mentioned earlier, the cultural development, the social economic, supporting the refugees, supporting the national spirits, supporting the freedom of religion, and worshiping, freedom from slavery, and so on. And for me to say that we have published many papers in the Senate. I think we'll stop here and we'll continue with you next time. Thank you very much for your patience and understanding.